First of all, I would like to congratulate and also express our sincere thanks that only from Asia I have been invited and been able to participate in this very august gathering and with many important subjects. First of all, I would like to say something about the cultural diplomacy. You know that during the last 2 days deliberations, we have seen that there has been a Cold War between economics and business, politics and business. And that is the real and that is the main theme of our presentation today, that business is trying to capture the politics and politics is trying to overrun or override the business. And that has been the rebel. You see just in the United States, the President Trump, just few days ago, he has withdrawn the climate change agreements that were made in France. And you see in many other places, even yesterday, the Honorable President, former President of Bulgaria, he also mentioned. Also, the Director General of UNESCO, they were also mentioning that there has been some Cold War, that who will be overriding whom. Our friends from Tanzania has also mentioned that the politics and other things that are going on. So this is the subject that we are touching today. And I think that the cultural diplomacy has got a very dominant role, a prominent role to play, to unite all together. We are very grateful that during the last 2 days I have seen that many men with very expert opinions, they have been assembled here, even the president from Ghana, former president from Ghana, and other people, the former prime ministers of Ireland, Finland, Greenland, all they were, and they have expressed their very great concern regarding that what is going on in the world arena, global arena. Well, when myself and Mark, we decided this subject, the social responsibility investments, the sustainable concern, we thought and we took some time to decide. You see, it is not an ordinary subject. As a former chairman of Chittagong Stock Exchange, I am speaking just on a broader aspect of this subject. You see that personally, I am a student of English literature, but the whole time I landed in the subject of finance, economics, etc. Lastly, I was the chairman Chittagong National Board of Revenue, the tax collector, you know. By taking tax, I think that people have developed some diabetes or something, because the National Board of Revenue, yesterday some person was saying that, do you have heart? There is a belief that the chairman of National Board of Revenue or the tax department, they don't have heart because they always take tax in such a way. And also I was the chairman of Chittagong Stock Exchange. It has been a demutualized stock exchange for the first time in Bangladesh. And also there that in the participants in the capital market, the investors, they do also have some health problems because of tension, because of losing their price and everything. So that's why last 7 years I worked in the Bangladesh Diabetic Association, you know, that I tried to compensate the problems that I created as being the chairman of National Board of Revenue or being the chairman of a stock exchange. So the subject has got that similarity. We are concerned about the future of the socially responsible investment scenarios and its sustainability concern. And here in this subject, we have basically touched two issues, that what is the future of socially responsible investments as a concept, and again, what is the problems of sustainability or challenges that the critical issues of socially responsible elements, that is governance, corporate governance, energy or other things, environmental, social or governance issues, that each and equally how they are facing challenges. That is the main theme of our today's presentation. Socially responsible investment, SRI, in short I will say, is an umbrella term to describe an investment process which takes environmental, social, and governance issues, that is ESG, or ethical considerations into account. I am emphasizing on the word ethical because that has been that and should have been the main force that should influence people or the society to be more responsible. SRI is not a new concept and has gone by many names. Value-based investing, because it has got economic or financial elements there, ethical investing, green investing, environmental, social, governance investing, and most recently, sustainable and responsible impact investing. What is the impact we are getting? That has to be very much important. SRI tend to mimic the political and social climate of the time. Whenever you go, wherever you go, you must have that element, that the blending of social as well as political wish and the philosophies or tendencies of the time. Karl Marx, a political theorist of this great land, 170 years ago, commended an SRI-aligned positive initiatives for ethical conduct in workplace relations, production, and the environment. We are sitting here, we are talking in his place. 170 years ago, this theorist, he had that concept to deliver. And the growth of SRI arises in this century, last century 90s, from a combination of legislative compulsion and pressure from actual and future beneficiaries. As awareness has grown in recent years over global warming and climate change, socially responsible investing has trended toward companies that positively impact the environment by reducing emissions or investing in sustainable or clean energy sources. Common themes for SRI include avoiding investment in companies that produce or sell addictive substances like alcohol, gambling, and tobacco, and seeking out companies engaged in social justice, environmental sustainability, and alternative energy or clean technology efforts. Social responsibility is the idea that business should balance profit-making activities with activities that benefit society. There lies the complexities and there lies the reasons whether it will sustain or sustain not. It involves developing business with a positive relationship to the society in which they operate. The International Organization for Standardization, that we generally know ISO, emphasizes that the relationship to the society and the environment in which businesses operate is a critical factor in their ability to continue to operate effectively. It is also increasingly being used as a measure of their overall performance. That is why they give the ISO certificate. They don't give only that whether you are making more profits or whether you are doing something. Two inherent goals of society, responsible investing. Number one is social impact and the financial gain. The two do not necessarily go hand in hand. Just because an investment touts itself as socially responsible does not mean that it will provide investors with a good return. An investor must still assess the financial outlook of the investment. That's a very psychological issue. You see, you will see the profit. You want to see the profit. But at the same time, if you want to ensure the profit, then you may forget your social responsibilities. You're doing social something good. So that is very important. And that is why SRI focused ethical, green, socially responsible or sustainable investment. It is because yesterday we have heard from the chairman, president of the UNESCO, UN, EU social and issues, and then that these three things. The increase in using good quality farm or agricultural land to be split up for industrialization and housing development. That is the question of rural and urban issues. The rural people, they are supplying all your needs. They are producing all substantial ingredients, but they are being deprived. The urban people, they are taking away all the fruits and everything from the villages. And the village people, they are also seeing that their agricultural products, their agricultural fields are being developed by housing or some other making of roads or etc. etc. So that's why that has been brought the SRI into a focus. Another is to the increase of importation of foods from overseas, despite locals are growing the same food. The globalization. The globalization has made that people are becoming more enthusiastic for getting the imported items, but they are losing interest or giving less attention to their own production, to their own ability or for making export of their items. So that is also another reason for that SRI is becoming more or coming into more concern. Or increase in environmental diseases or environmental degradation. So demand for responsible investment is increasing because societies now feel passionate about a range of issues such as the effects of climate change, the use of sweet shops, the production of weapons of mass destruction, the effective use of natural resources, a rapidly growing and aging population, or the corporate, environmental and social practices of companies. That it is why the demand for SRI is coming up. And the values of socially responsible investments, it is that most people live their lives based on a set of values they consider to be important, values that drive the majority of their decisions. So companies should strive to understand the values held by their clients as they form the basis of the comprehensive financial and investment plans they develop for them. For clients who emphasizes the importance of incorporating their personal values, culture and social concern into their investment philosophy and decisions, they in principle introduce SRI. So it has to come from their own impulse, own understanding, own commitment that we should do. And that is why it has been found that socially responsibility helps companies develop a good reputation. Sometimes some companies, they may think that, okay, we will sell more goods, we will make for profits. No. If they think that the buyers should also be, their social, educational concern should be taken into account, then in return, in the normal economic theory, it has been said that when the buyer will see that, yes, my concerns are being taken care of by this company or profit, then they will buy more of those items. In a certain situation, when if the buyers say that, okay, this is harmful and they are making profit. You see, in our country, our most two important revenue earning item is, number one, tobacco. People are smoking more, you see, and they are paying higher taxes. And also the mobile phone. They are talking and talking and talking and spending their time, energy, everything. They are talking, and so we are getting more revenue. So these two should not be the criteria of that. Okay, a state is getting more revenue, but people's health by setting the tobacco, or people's attention or their cultural impulses are being done by the overuse of mobile phones. Our friend from Ghana, just few minutes ago, he has mentioned that he can send the money through the mobile phones. Yes, it is in our country also. We have the bigger system, they're known as, and the money can be transferred. That is good. But at the same time, that is bad, that you are always looking at your mobile phone by seeing all other things that may hamper your sleep, and you can boost up your own time. Another thing, in our studies in Asia, we have seen that religious investing is coming up as a mean of socially responsible investment. From the history, often SRI chosen were according to the stated religious belief. It was in Judaism, Christianity, even the followers of Islam. In Islam, let me mention here very specifically, we have a system of of the 5 tenets of Islam, third is the zakah, that if you have more money, more income, more etc., so a part of something it should be given to the poor. Our Quran says that the poor have the right to the impulses or to the income of the rich people. So previously or traditionally, our people, they used to distribute zakat as a small amount to a small poor man. So he cannot use it for other purposes because this is a small. But recently in our country, we have studied it later, and then the corporate bodies, they are accumulating their zakat money, a big amount, say 3,100 taka or something. They are giving to a management company, that is Center for Zakat Management, and they are making projects for the 500 people, 500 poor people, in a system that the money will be given to them forever, because the zakat tenet says that you must give it forever. The ownership should be given. It is not the microcredit that you are giving. You are giving it forever. So the person is encouraged to invest, to make business, and then develop himself and his family. It is taken care of. So it is a new concept that the zakat management, that it is accumulating the corporate funds, the zakat funds, and then it is being invested for the betterment of the ordinary people. And another thing that is a great deliberation from Asia, you know that the Professor Yunus, the Nobel laureate, his social business, that has been a recent conception that is coming up. It has two ingredients. Number one, that the newcomers, that the new entrepreneurs are being encouraged to form a business or something which should have social benefit elements must be there. You know that the Bangladesh is the land of microcredit, and the microcredit came, it was very successful, and that is it has got the Nobel Prize even. The microcredit was that the poor people are given loan or credit without collateral, and they are being empowered by doing business and etc. But recently it has been found through the studies that even the microcredit system is getting some challenges. Challenges in the sense that the spread of the interest is very high, and the people, they may not be engaged in business in more nature. So, but the social entrepreneurship business or social business, it is the use of startup companies and other entrepreneurs to develop, fund, and implement solutions to social, cultural, and environmental issues. This concept may also be applied to variety of organizations with different sizes, aims, and beliefs. For-profit entrepreneurs typically measure a performance using business metrics like profit, revenues, etc. And another important development in Asia, and particularly in our countries in the Asian subcontinent, as our friend from Ghana has mentioned, the PPP, public-private partnership. It has been found that, as I mentioned, that I worked for the Bangladesh Diabetic Association for 7 years. The Diabetic Association is the #1 glowing example of PPP model. The government has helped the Diabetic Association to build the hospitals, and it has given the responsibility of management to the Diabetic Association, a cooperative society or a non-profit entity. So it has been a public-private partnership here. Alone, the Diabetic Association cannot build the hospitals, and they don't have such capital or etc. But government is giving the capital, government is giving the infrastructure, and then giving the chances or transferring to the management of the Diabetic Association, because they have the expertise, they know how to build, how to run the hospital, and etc. And then it has been a very successful organization in the Asia, even in the world. Bangladesh Diabetic Association is doing very remarkable job, because this Diabetic Association is giving 3 types of services. It is creating awareness for diabetes control. It is also giving the treatment itself, how to control the diabetes, as well as it is also providing the scope for research for diabetes. But in the whole world, there are 250 diabetic associations, but most of the diabetic associations, either they have awareness building program, or some they have research program, or some they have some treatment program. But no diabetic association in the world has got these three elements together. They do research, and on the basis of research, they treat the patients, and as well as they create the awareness. So all these have been possible by the PPP concept pursued by our government. So I am just making this point in the sense that there must be an ESG integration in concept as a philosophy and everything. And here I mentioned that the Paris Climate Agreement, which has been signed by so many countries, and it has created a hope that the world will follow a very good environment. But very recently, President Trump has categorically said that no, it will not support it. So it has created a great concern and setback. So that's why. So that let me quote the CEO of General Electronics. He said that we think green means green. It is a firm commitment. This is a time period where environmental improvement is going to lead toward profitability. This is not a hobby to make people feel good. It should be taken in such a seriously. Again, the CEO of Walmart, he has also said very recently, this used to be controversial, but the science is in it. It is overwhelming. We believe every company has a responsibility to reduce greenhouse gases as quickly as it can. So our corporate bodies, if they come up with this type of conviction and the commitment, and I hope, and we are very hopeful that it will give us a very good, So I will finish by just giving two more important information regarding the value of or the state of SRI mechanism in Asia area. In Asian countries, we are becoming a vital part of market too. Both world economies, powers like China and Japan, but also South Korea, Singapore, and Malaysia are joining the global trend. And sustainable investment assets in Asia, although is still comprising only a small share of the world total professionally managed asset, but it is still growing day by day. And also microfinance and the Asia stock exchanges is playing significant role in developing regional socially responsible investment markets. This morning we have heard the Cyprus, we have heard from Bulgaria, we have heard from Ghana, and we are mentioning that one of the targeted method of enhancing ESG reporting by companies listed on stock exchanges. We have many Asian exchanges, they are trying. Many initiatives are taken in this field. The Shenzhen Stock Exchange in 2006 and the Shanghai Stock Exchange in 2008 as first have introduced guidelines for listed companies in respect of SRIs, and it is being monitored regularly. In a recent panel, they have noted or listed 10 observations. I think that is very important to consider when we will be thinking about the sustainability of the SRI. Number one, the sustainable investment market is a small but growing. It is a finalized observation. Responsible investing has moved on from screening out bad companies. It is growing, these senses. Some responsible funds still invest heavily on fossil fuels. Regulator could start policing what counts as a responsible fund. Fossil fuels are an increasingly bad investment. Number 6, responsible investing does not have to mean lower profits. It is a just observation. Financial advisors do not know enough about ethical investing. And people without much money can invest responsibly too. The biggest barrier to mainstream ethical investment is lack of education. So that we have seen from other year that the financial literacy is becoming more coming up. Education about responsible investing should start in school. We have seen in Herzegovina that they have started that's very good. The financial crisis represents an opportunity to responsible investment. So now finally, this is my conclusion, that there is enough scope of making this SRI sustainable. But for that, both politically as well as socially, all the governments, all the people, all the corporate affairs, they must take this vow in their sense, in their mouth, in their planning, in their designing, that yes, if we don't do for or do good for the SRI, then ultimately it will not help neither of us, nothing of us, and we will lose the benefit of living in a very lovable world if we don't declare or we don't consider this SRI as our motto. And with this, I again thank the Institute of Cultural Diplomacy that they have taken this year their subject, sustainable and the investment or development. That's a very good thing. And with this, I am concluding and ending my speech. And this is the last address of this 3-day presentation. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I heard the educational and professional background of Muhammad Abdul Mazid, I was positive that we are going to attend a very interesting presentation. Indeed, I was proven correct. I congratulate Muhammad for indeed a very comprehensive and all-encompassing presentation. And I invite anybody who wants to ask a question to do so. Please.
So, I have two questions. Number one, what do you think about the capital or stock market investor social responsibility for a small and medium investor? Number one. Number two, in this connection, on 2010, in Bangladesh capital market, there is about 1 billion investor debt at that time, the loss there in capital in the market. And those people are really now bigger. And they are, somebody went out from the Bangladesh, going to Malaysia or Singapore or Middle East for the job. The entrepreneurs or capital investor, now they are bigger, completely bigger. And also, they are loaning in the bank in Bangladesh because they take loan from the bank and invest to the capital market. So they lost also their money. So banks sue their case in Bangladesh. And for the case, they already ran out from the Bangladesh and now stay in different countries. This is very soft and major issue in Bangladesh. So how do you think about that? Thank you very much.
Thank you. I think he has wear a cap just like Mao Zedong of China. So he has got some social thinking and ideas about it. The point is that the capital market or a stock market and the SME, it has been mentioned this morning by our Bulgarian stock exchange colleague. Actually, capital market has and have a very strong possibility or component for looking into the capital, the socially responsible. In our country, we have classified the companies, some Sharia-based companies, some are profit-making other companies, in the sense that those companies who have alcohol business or health destructive business, etc., we have separated them. And we have identified those companies which have socially responsible investment or capacities, and then they are doing good. In this way, we are trying to, in the capital market, we are trying to differentiate the companies which are doing good, social good, or which are not social good. So the capital or stock market has got a mechanism, and they have also a responsibility of doing this. In 2010, not only, in 1996, we had also a capital market crash. In 2010, yes, it was a bubble and it burst, and it created a very severe problem for the small investors particularly. And so the government has taken too many precautions and etc. They have demutualized the exchanges, and they have made the new rules for IPO and other things, and the regulator is very strong now, so that in future nobody can play with the market and get it away. So in that case, Bangladesh stock market, though now in a very lower stage and etc., but it has a potentiality to do good in future, and at least there will be some assurances that this will not happen. And also government has given the marginal loans to those small investors who have been seriously or severely, they have been lost, or they have been in a problem. So it is hopeful. We are hopeful that it will minimize their loss or etc.
Thank you very much. Another question? Yes, my friend.
Yeah, this question I would like to address not only to you, but the other personalities of representatives of the stock market. Because nowadays in the West, they are printing a lot of money, quantitative easing program in the United States. Now I would like to doing for the European Bank. You know, the same is doing Japanese government. They have a new event already 10, 12 years, which is a negative interest rate, which is a phenomenon, nowadays phenomenon. And I started to follow up the streams of money. They are going to the financial market, but also they are going risk to the capital market. Chinese are earning money on the surplus of the trade, and again putting those money to the capital markets. I had a look to the world economic growth, it is to 3%. But the capital market is growing up 10, 15, 11%. To be frank with you, I have a concern that another blast is coming, another bubble. We are creating another bubble, another bubble. What will be the end with this fast growth of capital markets? Shall I be scared? Shall I stop them, or let them go like this? Like this, another 2-3 years, a new financial crisis will come, and the people will suffer because not are suffering. These financial personalities, are common people will suffer from that. What is your opinion? What is the others' opinion on that? On the fast growth of capital markets, what's your opinion?
Thank you, sir. I think I am very much agree with you that the capital market should not grow fast. It should have a stable, it should have a reasonable growth, ups and down. Because you see the day trading, sometime we have seen. Today I have bought a stock of say for 35 taka in our country. Next day if it becomes 50, then next day it becomes 65. So then you should understand that someone is playing with this. They are accumulating all this way by giving a very higher rate, and then at a certain time you will not find that gentleman. You will just stop, and then your price of those 65 or 75, it will just come down. So that's why we are always trying to monitor every day, in the sense that if a company's share, if it goes beyond maximum 10% or 11% premium or price, then we ask why you are jumping in this way, or why it is like so. So in this way, if we can contain and monitor that, so that it should not grow fast, FAST fast. So then it should be otherwise again you are right that it may create more bubble and more disasters. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mohammed. Thank you. It was extremely interesting. Even for me, came from a state change, it was very learning experience listening to your speech, and all the best.
Thank you.
All the best. Thank you very, very much.